Alright, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about what it's like to daily a show car. I personally daily my car, and I want to preface this by saying no, I did not build my car entirely. A lot of people have been commenting that on a lot of my social media, which is fair, but I've never told anyone that I built my car. All credit goes to Evil Panda. People act like I don't, but I give him full credit when it comes to this car. But I just want to say I've had this car for around 10 months now, and I've been daily driving it all 10 months. So I just wanted to give you guys my experience and, you know, what I go through day to day of driving this car. So I'm trying to kind of stand in a way that blocks out the wind. It's really windy, of course, the one time I want to go out and film. But this is the car, just gonna do a little walk around. It's pretty clean. I washed it like 2 days ago. But as you can see, it looks really good. So for the people wondering what kit this is a PANDEM V3.5, the Rocket Bunny kit, same thing. It is on airlift suspension. I run Toyo tires, obviously. You can see the fat Toyo tire sticker. So I've been running those tires for forever now. I absolutely love them. But I'm gonna talk about annoyances first with the car, and then I'm gonna talk about the things I really like. So first off, one of the most annoying things in this car is starting it. Obviously, I have tuned it with an open flash tablet, so the cold starts are gone. But when I first got it, it was fully straight piped because it used to be really, really loud. But I was full catless, no mufflers, no resonators, nothing, and it was just super loud. And I always felt like a burden to my neighbors. So that was one thing, but I'm glad I kind of got rid of those cold starts. Another thing is, obviously, like I said, I'm on airlift, so when I start my car, for some reason my compressor lets out all the air when I turn it off, so I have to wait for the compressor to run, and that's also really loud. Luckily it's not too loud coming through the rear seat delete, but that's definitely another thing that does kind of annoy me. It does take about like 5 to 10 minutes just to start my car and leave, so I always have to start it, 10 minutes before I leave. So I'm gonna show you guys some of the things in the interior that bother me a little bit, or that are much different from driving a normal car. So obviously I have a cage, which means that if I put my seat all the way back, my seat rubs on the cage and it starts making a squeaking noise. Obviously, the car's manual. It's really not too hard to drive. Like I believe that anyone who says that driving manual is inconvenient, it's not really. I've been doing it for over a year and a half now, and it's really not that big of a deal. Another thing are the harnesses with the bucket seats. Obviously you can wear harnesses. They're much easier to put on than the OEM seat belts, because obviously the way the seat's designed, you can barely even get to the buckle down there, so it's also a pain in the ass to reach for these. So I've been wearing the harnesses, and obviously those are a little bit more restricting when it comes to movement in the car. Like looking over my shoulder is a little bit harder, especially with how short I am. But obviously you want to wear harnesses if you have an aftermarket steering wheel that has no airbag, because those will definitely save your life. You might get really bad whiplash, but at least you won't hit your head on the steering wheel and literally it wouldn't be good. Oh, I forgot to mention, I took the louvers off and I got 5% all around, so let me know what you guys think. I know a lot of people like to show off their cage when they have a half cage or a full cage. I want people to not know I have a cage until they come see my car in person. I think that's way cooler. I also really like the look of 5% tint, especially with the way I'm going with the black and the blue. I think it looks a lot better than having clear, and I also don't like when I pull up the stoplights and people stare at me. That's another thing that I'm going to talk about, is the looks you get driving this car. Now obviously this is a normal thing. I totally expected this buying a car like this. This car would clearly draw a lot of attention, especially just driving it. Around here there aren't too many show cars, there's not too many crazy cars. There's a lot of exotics, but definitely not fully built cars like this. So when I pull up the stoplight, some people give me looks. Driving, people give me looks, and a lot of the time people don't pay attention to how they're driving when they're looking at me, and they almost hit me. That happens way too often. It's definitely something. Driving takes a lot more out of you when you're driving a car like this. Anytime I take this car out, I just stay in the back of traffic packs, because traffic always kind of moves in a pack. So I always try to stay in the back, away from people, especially with a wider car. This car isn't absurdly wide because the car is already small in the first place. It's really not that big of a deal, but sometimes in skinnier lanes I can feel like I'm being forced, especially I stay away from the left lane where the curb is. I usually try to stay in the right or the middle, so in the right I have the bike lane. So that's like a normal thing. It's pretty much second nature at this point, just driving this car, that I stay out of those lanes. All right, so another thing is, obviously I live in California and the police here are really strict. The laws here are really strict. So getting pulled over at least used to be a pretty normal thing, especially when I was straight piped. When I'm just coasting, you really can't hear my car at all, which is super nice, but it used to be really, really loud, and I honestly couldn't control it around cops. Even going from 1,000 to 3,000 just starting was just absurdly loud. So I think in the first like 3 months I had the car, I had gotten pulled over like 6 or 7 times. So it was pretty normal thing to get pulled over. I mean, I'm really surprised that so far, you know, knock on hard wood, that I haven't gotten a ticket. I definitely thought I'd at least be state arrested by now, but very luckily the cops have been super chill. But that means, you know, obviously I try to stay out of streets that cops are heavily on. I stay away from police stations, even though I live pretty damn close to a sheriff's station, so that's a little bit unlucky. But I've actually never been pulled over in the city I live in. Another really big thing is, I forgot to mention this about driving, is the turn radius. Obviously it's a wide body kit and I run stupid wide wheels. My fronts are 10s on 265 size tires. So let me see where I can show you. Right there, 265 30 19. So yeah, obviously my tires are huge and I rub at full lock, even though I've cut my frame substantially from what it used to be. So obviously this is like the frame, and I could cut a little bit more, but it really wouldn't do all that much. I don't rub too much, but especially riding lower, like I like to, I rub a good bit. So I really never make U-turns. I can't. I'd end up making a 3-point turn in the middle of an intersection, which is just not a good idea. So sometimes I'll end up making 3 lefts or 3 rights just to turn around. So I definitely think that there's just like only one more thing to say, and that's just showing up to meets. And I've gone to like one show, but I can really only speak for meets, but showing up to meets in this car is definitely like, it feels pretty badass. Obviously, you know, I'm one of the more built cars at almost every meet, which is, car just locked itself. That's definitely one of the cooler feelings. Showing up, you know, you have a lot of attention, and it just feels like Fast and the Furious. It definitely feels like I'm like Paul Walker showing up to a meet. Obviously I'm not like saying I'm like Paul Walker at all, but it just, you know, it's got that feeling, and it definitely feels really cool showing up to meets in this car, driving by everyone and parking, and then getting out of the car is really cool. So that's definitely a lot of fun. That was just the last thing. So another thing is I dropped my merch. This is my logo tee. I don't have the rest of the merch with me, but you guys can check out the website. I have hoodies, shirts, pins are going to be coming soon, and stickers, so you guys could go pick up some of that. There's just stickers in my car, pins in my car, and then, you know, this is the logo. I would show you guys the back, but I don't think I really can. So just go check it out. It's www.mercys.media, MERCYS. Obviously the link will be in the description, but use code MERCY15 for 15% off. You guys' support has really meant the world. But if you guys want to go check it out, obviously that would be awesome. And go check out my other pages. My Instagram and my TikTok are also in the description, as always. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.